Welcome everyone. My name is Amanda and I'm here with...
I'm Chloe.
And we are with the Tampa Hillsborough County Public Library System. This is, as I mentioned before, this is career and education development resources at the library. We are going to go over some of our, we don't have time to go over all of them, I wish we did, but some of our favorite career and education resources. And as I said before, these are all free and you can access them remotely through the library. So before we get started, I do want to let you know this program is part of our Libraries Build Communities program, which is in partnership between the library system, the public library, and the University of South Florida's Responsive Librarianship Group. Responsive Librarianship Group. If you want to find out more about that, we have 2 programs a month with this, no, actually more than 2. We have 3 programs a month, including adult and youth book clubs and our resource program every month. So you can find the whole listing of those programs at hcplc.org/libraries build communities. If you want to register for upcoming programs with that, you can find those programs linked. And like I mentioned, you can find the content of previous programs. We've shared a lot of great information throughout this grant partnership, and it's just out there waiting to be accessed. Okay, let's go ahead and get into our book shout out.
All right, so our book shout out for this program is Limitless by Kwik. It's accessible through Libby, and you can see it in the catalog. It's a really great resource. It really talks about how to learn how best to learn, so that you can unlock your potential instead of just studying, something and then you get to the end of that subject and you can't really absorb anymore. This talks about how to enhance your own learning skills so that you get more out of material and know how to find additional things.
That is great about the different types of learning, because we are going to talk about some of that test prep and those things tonight and those educational resources. But if you're kind of going at it the wrong way, you might be wasting some of your time. So that sounds like a really good resource. Where can we find that, Chloe?
That's available on Libby. So you can see it within the catalog and you'll be able to access it from computers, phones, tablets.
Awesome. I do want to make a quick correction before we move on into the program. There's actually 4 programs a month through the Libraries Build Communities. There's 2 book clubs and there are 2 resource programs. So even more than I had said before, even more, a bounty of even more programs, which is awesome. Okay, let's find out a little bit about these career and education resources. So we are going to be talking about our databases tonight, and these frequently asked questions are about our online learning and research databases. So the first question we generally get about these is, do I need a library card to access these databases? And the answer is
yes. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do need that library card. It looks like it looks like we lost the screen for a second here. Oh, no, we didn't. Sorry. You do need a library card to access these databases. These are all free through the library website with your library card. You are always going to start at hcplc.org. We're going to show you how to do that in a little bit. But you do need your library card to get in and to create an account within these databases. So we are going to tell you a little bit at the end of the program about getting that library card and getting started. Okay, our next question, Chloe, is, can I access employment certification test preparation materials? Which is kind of a long way of saying, can I get free practice tests online? And the answer is
yes.
Yes, you can do that. We are going to show you a great way to do that tonight through 2 different online resources, 2 different online databases. And I will give this quick little shout out. A lot of times people come into the library and you are looking for those test prep books, whether it's Kaplan, whether it's the GED test prep, whether it is there's just a ASVAB, nursing, all sorts of things. I will tell you, those are hot ticket items. They are hard to keep on the shelf, and there is often a long wait list, which is not to say it's bad, but it means you might have to wait several weeks before you can get the book. Now, these tests are available with your library card at any time without any wait. So just keep that in mind. The book is great, and as Chloe said, there's different learning styles. You might like the tactile nature of the book. But these tests are available through the databases. And the nice thing is you take them as the practice tests are online, which is the method of the actual test. So you are practicing in the way in which you will take the test. So that is my big shout out for these. If you remember one thing tonight, please remember that these are available. They're always available and there's never any waiting. Okay, do you offer resume building tools?
Yes, we do, and from several different sources.
Yes, tonight we are going to show you 2 different resume building tools. Chloe is going to be demoing one and I will be showing you the other. And then the last question is, are these databases available outside of the library? And the answer is
yes, you will be able to access these databases outside of the library. So if you're accessing remotely from your computer at home or from a cafe, you will be able to use these resources.
yes. So you do need your library card and PIN to access them, as we had previously said. And as a reminder, once again, we are going to show you, but make sure you always start in accessing these from the library website, which is hcplc.org. They will ask you for your library card and PIN. If they ask you that, give it to them. You've done the correct thing. If you type it in directly, they'll probably ask you for your credit card number. Do not give that to them. So let's show you the databases we are going to be talking about tonight. Okay, this is Chloe. Do you want to tell us anything about these career and education databases?
Just that I'm going to be starting with Petersons Career Prep. It's a great resource. There are a few different tools. It's just really excellent. It's not something that I knew about previously whenever, I was job hunting or whenever I was looking into different degree programs. And that's something that I'll go over in my demonstration.
Wonderful. We look forward to that. And I will be following up with Learning Express Library. This has a lot of those online practice tests that we talked about. I'm very excited to share that with you. So Chloe, I'm going to go ahead and give you the presentation control, and let's go ahead and get into, after this, we'll turn off our cameras, but let's make you the presenter, and then we'll get into Petersons Career Prep.
All right. So can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my webcam and we can go from here. So as Amanda stated, you always want to start from our library website, hcplc.org. So this is our homepage, our landing page. To find these career and education resources, you're going to go to Learning and Research. And if you scroll down, there's a few different ways of getting to it. You could see the whole list here by selecting See All Resources. That can be a little bit overwhelming because we do have so many, but we also have categories down here. So you'll go to Careers and Education, and you'll be able to see them here. You see we've got quite a few. We're just focusing on the 2 this evening. And I'm going to be starting with Petersons Career Prep. So this is the home page. If you were to navigate here from the library website by just clicking on that link there that was on that page, you would have to log in first. So you would have to use your library card number. You'll have to create an account. But again, it is free. So if it takes you somewhere and it's asking for your credit card, like Amanda said, don't do it. Don't do it. So starting out, there's quite a few resources here, and it's a really nice kind of array of different tools. So we talked about different resume builders or tools such as that. So this is one of those. You'd be able to go in and it kind of opens up a new page for you and it gives you a couple different options. You'll be able to look through and see what kind of template would be best for me. And that will vary depending on what kind of impression you want to make or what field you're in. So that's something that it gives you a lot of different options, and it also gives you the kind of tutorial at the beginning. That way you can get through, and it also has a help section in here in case you get hung up on some of these different features. But going back to this page, something that's also cool is here, this Find a Career tool. It's interesting. It is a quick, it's a survey. It has a few different assessments it is, since it's quick, it's not completely accurate. It's not comprehensive, rather. So it's not going to, pinpoint, oh, these are going to be the best fits for you. You're absolutely going to love, this kind of job in this field, but it will give you a ballpark. So if you're going into school, or if you're coming out and you're considering what your options should be with different positions, or what to look into, it will give you the idea of whether you should study maybe humanities versus sciences, or what you're maybe best suited to in regards to like broad categories. There's also a career colleges search tool, which is really great. It gives you the option to come in here and you can search by your location. So whether that is by your state, different areas of study, different types of schools. So whether that is associate's programs or bachelor's programs, so 2-year or 4-year, and the school size, a lot of different information as well regarding the acceptance rates and admissions rates as well. So it gives you a lot of information. It will also link to the different schools, programs, and homepages themselves. So you can navigate from there. Again, it's not something that is completely comprehensive, but it is a great jumping off point. And here, so this is going to give you a bunch of resources for advice. So if you have questions, or if you are looking for information on what exactly you should do, in regards to, if you have questions, such as here, you can see there are courses on career changes, different transitions. Here you can see there are tutorials on resumes, so basics, sections, FAQs, and more. So not only does Petersons give you the tools to build your resume, but it also gives you the how-to. All right, Amanda, do you have anything to add that I have not shown here yet? I do want to say that it does keep track of your progress here. You can see it in your own like class progress, your different grades, what you're currently, what courses you're currently working through, and it gives you the opportunity to go through and look at, okay, well, I've done this many of these modules in this specific course. What do I need to do next? It's a great way of being able to keep track of what you're doing and which modules you should do next, so if you wanted to start, for example, with the basics and go on to sections for the resumes, it gives you a great kind of timeline and it tracks that for you, whereas there's some websites that don't do that for you. So Amanda, I am going to take it back to you, if that is all right. I'll relinquish the presentation to you.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chloe. And I do want to say Petersons is a relatively new database for us. It's about just under, well, we've had it for just under a year. So if you have done our career database in the past, it probably was a different one, which was also a good one. But I like Petersons because it's a little more updated in its, it has different templates for the resumes and the cover letters. And it's a little bit more robust in its career exploration information. So even if you have tried it in the past, Petersons is relatively new for us, so I would really recommend giving that one a try. I really like it, and I'm glad that we have started subscribing to that one. Okay, so as a little bit of a reminder, I am going to review what Chloe had showed us as well. So as I said, you're always going to start at hcplc.org, which is the library website. You are going to go to Learning and Research. And then as you can see, as Chloe said, we were in the Careers and Education section, which you can find Learning Express. And as a reminder, you can always go to the A to Z search, which has all of our databases listed. So if you were to jump, and this is just to let you know, I mean, just scrolling a little bit, that's just all A's and B's there. Well, we were getting down to C, D, E as well. But just that we're talking about career development and education resources today, but there's so many great things to explore for the library. So we click on Learning Express. Now I am already logged in but it is going to tell you, it's going to give you the option to sign in and register. I will make a point for Learning Express Library, you have to register within the database. So a lot of our databases will give you the option to create an account within the account, and it's optional. Learning Express, you do have to sign in and register with your library card, and you do have to denote you're using it from the Hillsborough County Library System. But having said that, it's only a benefit to register because it saves your information and it helps make more of a seamless experience to use it, step away, and then come back to it. So as I mentioned, I am already registered and logged in under my card here, Library Programming. And this is when you register, you're going to be on the home page. Now, as you can see, there are all kinds of great things in the center programming here. We're going to experiment mostly with career preparation today, but I do want to point out it is for multiple audiences. It is not just for adults or young adults. It is for learners of all ages. You have college admissions and test prep. So that's ACT, SAT, and AP tests, as well as writing those college essays. You have a general school center if you're working on any of your core equivalency skills, especially for those benchmarks tests for high school students and below. You have a high school equivalency center if you are studying for your GED. I do point this out because once again, those GED books are so hard to keep on the shelf. So if you are prepping for this test, please come here and practice it. And then you have a section for college students. And you have adult core skills, which is basically skills for adults if you want to work on your basic reading, your math, your any of those kind of basic skills you might need for foundational skills. And recursos para hispanohablantes is the same. It's the same adult core skills. They are just presented in Spanish. Oh, another adult core skill is also citizenship, and you have that in both English and Spanish. But today we are going to look at career preparation. And as you can see in the Career Center, much like Chloe showed, there is a section where you can learn more about careers. So if you're just you want to transition and you're learning about careers, that's a great place to start, basically at the beginning, where you can learn about different careers and take some of those aptitude type quizzes to find out what you may be interested in or what your skills may align with. There's also a job search and workplace skills. So you might not have a specific career in mind. Actually, let's go ahead and look into each section really quick. So as you can see, if you learn more about a career, you have different specific careers that you can explore. These careers are, of course, going to be aligned with the resources they provide for the exam prep and for the prep to study this career. Then you look down and you have job and workplace skills. So these are if you are generally looking for, if you want to work on, you're looking for a job and you want to work on those soft skills like searching, interviewing, or networking, or you might have a job and you just want to improve these skills. You can work on those here. You can also, they have tutorials for strengthening your business writing and succeeding on the job. Succeeding on the job is a multitude of what I would consider like your soft skills, like networking, management, time management, all sorts of good things. And then if you go down, you have those different careers that we talked about. Now, each one of these, and you can see it's military, nursing, teaching, some very great career paths that people often ask us or are often looking to get into when they come into the library. They're asking for books about it. They're asking for the testing books. They're asking how to get more information. So they've kind of narrowed it down to a lot of these ones that we do get asked about quite a bit. So I will go in and I will show you, let's go in for example to, let's start, there's different types of resources within this database. So you have ebooks that you can download and keep for as long as you like. There is no wait for them. There's never any wait and there's never any expiration date for those. You have tutorials, which are self-guided, do at your own pace lessons. You have flashcards that you can download to help you study, and then you have practice exams. To show you an example of maybe one of the tutorials, let's go into create great resumes and cover letters. So as you can see, you can really pair up and use these two databases together quite a bit as well. So this doesn't really have an online template. And I love those new templates from Petersons. And I like that they have multiple different types instead of just one template, because different jobs might be looking for different things. Like a graphic design is maybe more interested in a creative resume layout, whereas some jobs they want more of a standard resume layout. But you can see here, you have your tutorials. So if you wanted to write a cover letter or resume, you could take this tutorial first, and then you could go into Petersons and you could take these skills that you learned and take them into that resume template. So as you can see, it does give you a little bit of an overview here of what you're going to do. You can start the tutorial, or you can go over here. This is your kind of your table of your table of contents. You can start it there. So here's your course summary. You can go over, and then once you go through each section, you're just going to go through go to the next part of the section. So let's go back. This is the overview. You're going to start the tutorial. We'll go into that for just a second. Okay, and again, your table of contents, it's going to give you all your different lessons. If you want to go in and see an overview of how long it might take to get through. So you can go through and you can do your lessons. Now, you don't have to do this all in one go, because you can always stop and say save and finish later. So once you start something, this is going to give you the option to either save your work, so you can come back to it when you're ready. It's going to be under your, I'll show you, we'll save this. Or you can close without saving it, or if it was a mistake, you can cancel it. So as you can see, this is saved under my tutorials, under my centers. So anytime I log in here at the top tab bar, you're going to have my center. I can find my saved information. It'll tell you if it's in progress or if it's been completed, and I can always go back in and revisit that information. So that's an example of a tutorial. Let's go back to our career prep and let's see an example of some of these flashcards and exams. So let's go down to prepare for an emergency medical service, for emergency medical services and firefighting exams. So you can see these are broken down by section. It's firefighter, EMT certification, or paramedic certification. You can choose which path you want to go in. Let's go ahead and go into the EMT. So you can see there's the practice exams, the prep book, which I mentioned. You can download the book, and that's going to be up into, if I download it, it'll go into my center. Or you can download, there's 2 different books you can download and read. Again, I'm not going to do that right now because it does take a little more bandwidth and I don't want to cause us any slowness, but I will show you the flashcards. So again, these are all flashcards that are going to help you. They've done the curriculum planning that will help you prepare for your exam. So if you open the flashcards, you can see and then it's just a digital flashcard. So it's nice. You don't even, you might want to make the actual flashcards if writing helps you remember. Again, back to that shout out, that book Chloe said, some of us learn better by writing things down. But it might be helpful if you don't have time, but you do want to quiz yourself. You can always check, you can always log in, do this, and then work with your flashcards. And you can see, the question, the answer, very fun, very easy. A nice way to study if you've only got a little bit of time and you just want to pull this up and take a look at it. So let's once again go back, and then we'll just go, I'm going to close without saving this time because we don't need to save that information. And I'm going to show you also one of the practice exams. So let's go into the practice exam. And what I like about these is if you start the exam, you can do a printed version if you prefer that way, but you can also take the test online. I like the test online because a lot of times that is the way you are going to have to take the test for your exam. You're going to have to maybe go to a testing center or go to an official place and take it online. So I think it does help to at least practice it a couple times the way you're going to take it. Now it'll give you an overview of the exam, and it'll give you the instructions like how to mark your answers, that sort of thing. And I like that it gives you an overview of how many questions and approximately how much time there is. And I think that something else great about this is you can just go into practice mode where you're controlling the exam. It's timed, but it's not, you won't run out of time. It's timed based on your schedule. You can do a simulation, which is very helpful to practice, where it is timed and it is strict to the exam timing. So if they have 20 minutes per section, it will cut off after 20 minutes. So that's a good way to do it, to practice it as the exam will really run. And then you can do actually a learner mode, which is, you can see the learner mode is where you can kind of stop and study in between questions. Let's go into the practice mode. Okay. And you can see there's the different sections of the test. So you would start to fill these out. You can just click on the answer. Of course, I don't know the actual answers, but we'll just click on these. And say you run out of time or you're done with your study time, you can either have them, when you're done, you can go to the top right corner and you can have the test be scored, or you can save to finish later. And again, if you need a reminder of the instructions, they are just right up there in the instructions section. You can see right here, I am being timed. This is the time remaining in the test as if taking it as if I were taking the exam. Okay, I'm going to say finish later, but I'm actually not going to save this because I'm not really taking this test. That is a little bit of an overview of what you can find in the different test prep sections. Let's go back to the home center. I'm going to wrap it up here. I do want to let you know in the help section, there are video guides. So if you want to check any information in the video guides, they have all sorts of different tutorials here. If you have any tech troubleshooting or you want to just kind of a walkthrough of how to use the site, they have all sorts of different tutorials you can see here at the top. You can check out these different tutorials. They're some are longer videos, some are shorter, but this is really helpful. You can always call us at the library for help. You can do the call number or ask a librarian. But if you want to troubleshoot and learn more about the site or get a little help using it, you can always come to the video tutorials. So let's go ahead. I am going to go ahead and pull the PowerPoint back up. And Chloe and I are going to come back on camera and answer any questions you might have. So go ahead, if you do have any questions, type those into the questions section. I'm going to turn my camera back on as well. I know we are just at the end of time here, but we do have time to take any questions about the program, about the resources, about using your library card, anything like that. Or if you have a question about test or career education prep that we didn't answer today, please let us know. We'll be happy to try to answer that for you and get you the resource that you need. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give one last little sweep through there and see if we had anybody. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any questions tonight, Chloe. So just in case one comes in, I'll give us a little bit more time. But while we do that, I am going to remind everybody that you can always contact us for help with either the databases that we've shown you tonight, how to navigate the library website, using your library card, maybe renewing your library card, or even excitingly signing up for your first one. You can always give us a call at 813-273-3652, or if you prefer, you can contact us online and you can connect with us virtually at hcplc.org/contact. If you want to find more programs like this, or any range of programs, we've got everything all the way from baby time for our very youngest visitors, all the way up to virtually, all the way up to Medicare programs for senior citizens. You can check out our full library schedule at hcplc.org/events. That's going to give you all the calendar of events, and it's going to give you the link to where you can register for them. And then finally, we love sharing a story with you from the library, whether it's one of our great books, or something we've learned, or something even tonight, just sharing information, but we also love to hear your library stories. So if you have had a great experience, or there's a resource you think is so cool, or there's something you want to share with us, please share your library story at hcplc.org/about/stories, and we can share that with our wider community. Okay, it looks like we maybe have something coming in the chat section. Oh, Chloe, do you have something to add before we close out for tonight?
I do. I just wanted to add, as you saw when we went through all of the resources, that this is really just the tip of the iceberg. There are many things that we covered that are present in both of these databases that are also present and may be covered in more extent in some of our other resources. We didn't have time to go over them today, but LinkedIn Learning Universal Class, those are both great resources. Just for example, they go over in some detail, and it may be other details that are not covered in these two databases about how to build your resume, cover letters, etc. That's just one example of overlap of what's available in our other resources.
Yes, please experiment, explore on the website. Call us at 813-273-3652. It is just the tip of the iceberg. And as Chloe was mentioning, there are a lot of ways, there are a lot of things that cover more than one thing. So, you know, you can do LinkedIn Learning, you can do resumes there, you can do resumes in Peterson, you can learn about resumes in Learning Express, or you can take a lot of information from each one and put together a very full picture depending on how much time you have. So if you do have any questions or want to learn more about those, definitely reach out to us. And since we don't have any additional questions tonight, we want to thank you so much for joining us this evening and wish you a good night. So goodbye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us.